Most people don't break because life gets hard. They break because their nervous system can't keep up with the speed of their life. Pressure didn't destroy you. The silence, the confusion, and the pretending you were okay did. Hi, Unbreakable leaders. Today I'm going to show you why people crack under pressure and how you can become the kind of human nothing can break, the unbreakable leader. Welcome to Pavness, Unbreakable Leadership Lab's Courage Under Pressure, the podcast where we explore how humans think, decide, and rise in the moments that matter most. I'm Pav Lertjitbanjong, Fortune 500 strategic advisor and courage decision scientist. For 23 years, I'd lived inside Fortune 500 boardrooms watching capable, brilliant leaders crumble, not because they lacked talent, but because nobody ever taught them how to think under pressure. But courage under pressure can be trained, and I'll show you how. Let's dive in. Here's the truth. Pressure doesn't just stress you out, it rewrites your brain in real time. When pressure spikes, three things happen. Your clarity collapses. The prefrontal cortex, or what I call your CEO brain, goes offline. Your fear circuit hijacks your decisions. Suddenly you're second-guessing, hesitating, overthinking. Your internal identity shrinks. You become the smallest version of yourself in the moments that need your leadership the most. I watched high-level executives get stuck on decisions they could have made in 2 minutes. I watched teams stall and miss big deadlines costing millions of dollars in revenue because no one wanted to be wrong. I watched super smart people crumble quietly behind corporate masks, and here's the part that hit me hardest. I watched myself break. There was a season where I could lead multi-million-dollar transformations, but I couldn't lead myself out of bed. There's a moment I've never talked about publicly until now. I was on Zoom in a meeting I didn't care about, working on slide 37 for a presentation no one would remember. My phone rang. It was my family in Thailand. My 100-year-old grandmother, a piece of my heart, had just passed away. I'd been meaning to go visit her for months, but I procrastinated, so I missed her last breath. Because I was in a meeting about metrics that didn't matter. And in that moment, I realized I had traded my life for other people's urgency. I was courageous at work, but a coward in my own life. That moment became the beginning of everything I'm teaching you now. We don't break because we're weak. We break because we've been conditioned to perform instead of feel, perfect instead of show up, survive instead of decide, tolerate instead of lead, avoid instead of confront, self-abandon instead of self-command. We were taught what success looks like, but not how to stay human while achieving it. Pressure reveals the gap between who you are and who you pretend to be. And in that gap, your courage either rises or collapses. Now, this is the part people take notes on. The 4P pressure pattern protocol. The 4P protocol explains exactly what happens to you under pressure. 1. Pressure, the trigger moment, chaos, acceleration, disruption, change. 2. Perception. Your brain distorts reality. You assume danger even when none exists. 3. Pattern. Your old survival behaviors react for you. Freeze, overwork, numb, avoid, perform, please, chase clarity. 4. Proceed. You make decisions from fear, not identity. And this is where careers derail, relationships implode, and confidence collapses. The goal is not to avoid pressure. The goal is to rewire your response so that pressure becomes the trigger for clarity, not collapse. Next is the reframe that changed my life, and it will change yours too. How to become unbreakable. Pressure doesn't mean stop. Pressure means transform. You become unbreakable when you learn to speak when you fear judgment, decide when you fear being wrong, rest when you fear falling behind, walk away when you fear losing love, show up when you fear being seen. Unbreakable leaders aren't fearless, they are honest. They refuse to lie to themselves about what hurts. Here's something you can do today, your courage reset practice. The 60-second reset. Put your hand on your chest. Say out loud, I am safe, I am here, I can choose. Take one slow breath. Decide one thing, tiny thing, that moves your life forward. This resets your nervous system and puts your brain back in the driver's seat. If this episode hit your soul, it's because you know you're meant for more. You are not meant to be crushed by pressure, you're meant to lead through it. This is the beginning of a new identity for you. Welcome to Courage Under Pressure. Subscribe, share this episode with someone who's carrying too much, and come find me on TikTok at Pavness Lab and LinkedIn at Pavness for daily courage clips. Your new life begins every time you choose courage over comfort.